lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on it.
He missed the complete that. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield before. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
It's Friday the 13th, and as the morning shadows thankfully grow less ominous under a climbing Central California sun, Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship fearlessly visits Sonoma Raceway for round 5 of 12 on the Season 7 calendar. And all the action from both the initial 40-minute feature and the 25-minute sprint that follows can be seen live as it happens here on the Global SimRacing channel. From California's wine country, welcome to GSRC's Countdown to Green. Way up in the press box to bring you our Word's Eye view is Soup and Crackers. Once again, yours truly, Bill Soup's on, joined as always by Sean Crackers Ambrose. Amjad Yaman is our director, armed with cameras provided by the Ansel Adams of iRacing, Dougie Beard. As cyberspace flows into your place over the next 15 streamy award-worthy minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to fully appreciate the doubleheader format for the Formula Renault 2.0 Championship event that will immediately follow. But before we go any further, we at GSRC realize our world is full of natural and man-made tragedies, and if we commented on each of them, it would become a regular segment on just about every broadcast. However, with the coincidence of Sonoma being the track of choice for today's race, we'd be insensitive if we didn't send out our thoughts and prayers to all those who have lost loved ones and homes in the horrific wildfires that have devastated this area all around the Sonoma Raceway. Sean, we've joked many times about how dry the scenery looks here on the iRacing California tracks like Laguna Seca and Sonoma. Sadly, perhaps a better adjective might have been flammable. How about you help us escape from these real-world trials and tribulations by making the impossible segue back into the virtual world to talk about Sonoma?
Well, Soup, I'm going to do that. I don't know if you're aware, but I did see a story where they had actually opened the camping grounds to those trying to flee the areas that were heavily affected by that. So hats off to Sonoma Raceway for doing that. But it is nestled in the Sonoma Mountains in the center of California's wine industry. They opened this in 1968. This facility has endured a turbulent history under a variety of owners and track names such as Sears Point Raceway, Infineon, until it was taken over by SMI, Speedway Motorsports Incorporated, back in 96. Sonoma is on the real-world schedule for both NASCAR and IndyCar. iRacing offers 4 configurations of this track, a couple specific for the IndyCar, but this afternoon we're racing on the not often used full configuration with the full extended run into turn 11 hairpin. Now, over its 2.5 miles, there are 12 turns that rise and fall over a dusty landscape, Sue. But the best way to get an idea of what this place is like is to jump on board the Formula Renault 2.0 for a ride around Sonoma.
All right, we've got Scott Newton in the GSRC Formula Renault 2.0, so let's do a lap around Sonoma. Turn 1 is easily flat out and much more about lining the car up for Turn 2. It's got a curved uphill braking into a very blind apex. The starts of races coming into here can tend to be one of the riskiest moments of the day. Then, heading into Turn 3, you've got a tricky chicane which compresses on the first half and crests with the car getting very light in the second half. Then there's a short burst into 4, which sometimes offers drivers a chance for a surprise attack. Watch out not to understeer wide out of there, and then bring it across, hold the inside of 5, and set up for the carousel. The track really drops away as you come into the corner, and drivers will find it imperative that they get on the gas as soon as they can exiting. You're dumped onto the drag strip, which makes up the backstretch in this case. It leads into one of the few good passing spots of Turn 7, but this hairpin is tricky and awkward with its squared-off apexes. If anyone tries an over-under, it's a lot easier to get tangled up with the other car. Now that it leads into the S's, you can stay flat to the floor for a while, up until 8 and 8A. That is most certainly going to be single file, so expect fireworks if the fight isn't done out of the hairpin. Then you got to set up for 10. Hug the left side of the track and try your best not to go off into the dirt. The wall is ready to collect anyone who gets overly greedy. Finally, there's sometimes a chance to pass into the final hairpin. This is a straightforward paperclip, so it's mostly a matter of squaring off the exit for a better run and making sure you don't clout the wall on the outside. Straighten out the kink up to the line, and hopefully you've now finished a lap around Sonoma.
Joe Peak on the mic and Scott Newton on the wheel, taking us around Sonoma. Thanks to Apex Racing UK for providing today's lap guide. And now let's take a quick look at who was the big points earner last time out from Mosport. A win in the big point feature and a second in the sprint is how the Flying Frenchman Jean-Francois Godin hit it big with 51 points. SimRC B driver Tim Birdie went third and fifth to earn 38 points. Two more than Phil Reed, who won the sprint event. The Aperture Racing driver finished seventh in the feature. Red Devils Christian DeCatch and Adam Tierney for Formula Mini each posted 30 points. So how did that affect the championship point standings? And keep in mind that these are the raw totals that do not take into account drop races. We've had 8 events so far and 8 different winners. Not among the group of winners is point leader Adam Tierney. However, the Formula Mini driver has posted a third, second, and fifth in the feature races and has yet to finish worse than 8th in any event. Tierney was the best at Mosport, and that lead in the championship, Tim Birdie was second at Mosport, and he's second in the championship points. The SimRC B driver has a sprint win at Laguna Seca. That pattern continues with Phil Reed, showing third on both overlays, the Aperture driver coming off of the aforementioned sprint win. And like the points leader, Reed's Aperture teammate Kerry Nolden is also winless as the two teammates swap positions. Jean-Francois Godin's big day jumps him 3 spots into 5th. So, when we look at the Tier 2 championship, it is the Orange Viking, Knut Martinsen for Horse Fishy on top. Kmart sits 9th over in the overall championship. SimRC A driver Patrick Kessler is up 2 spots, only a pair of points out of the lead. Incline Racing's Ty McLeod drops another spot, now in 3rd. Martinsen's Horse Fishy teammate Evan Imre falls to 4th. And making his first appearance on the graphic is Apex Racing UK's driver Scott Newton. Quickly, let's look at the team championship where Reed and Nolden established Aperture Racing as the team to beat. Moving to the top, despite Tierney leading in the championship, Formula Mini falls to 2nd. Christoph Holstein has underperformed so far this season, sitting 2nd in the points. And you can hear the bells in the nearby Mission going off right now. There's the church base at Mission Juan San Francisco. You saw the Force Fishy combo of Martinsen and Emre on the Tier 2 chart. That translates into 3rd in the team standings. And then there is SimRC. That gang is in 4th and 5th with Tim Birdie's solo effort for the B team and Renee Osterkamp, Patrick Kessler for the primary group. And you can see the other 5 drivers populating the right side. Okay, crackers, all got through that. I hope everyone's still with me. AOR is always bringing in some new viewers for those joining us for the first time. Let's talk a bit about the series and race details.
Who the dog, race fans? And Soup wasn't well. What a lot of people don't know about Soup, he's actually a monk, also. So, broadcasting from the monastery today, and here we are, season 7, round 5 of 12. Now you get 2 dropped events. That's the combination of the sprint and the feature race. 2 races per event, of course, here every Friday. This is an open setup on the Formula Renault 2.0. They work really hard at getting these cars dialed in on these tracks. Now the weather today, Soup, boy, it's a beautiful one. It's 84 degrees outside. It's 92 degrees on track. It's not blazing hot, but it is warm. And the most important thing to remember about these races is there is no fast repair here in the feature race. And, well, that's critical because you got to take care of the car. This track, as we'll talk about here in a minute, can get pretty tricky. Now, the race distance today, it's 40 minutes for this feature race that we're qualifying for right now. Lone qualifying here, and we will grid based on how they qualify. Pit stop going to be some time within about the middle third of the race is generally what we see. You don't have enough fuel to do this without a stop, so got to pay attention to the incidents. I don't know if that'll come into play today. It could. It's 16 incidents that will lead to a disqualification if you go over that, and the points pay back to 20th place, Soup.
Okay, pace is always important to winning a race, but in the in this Formula Renault series, also pit stops play such a huge part. Sean, tell us a little bit about pit lane here. It's kind of interesting, is that entry on the outside of the track.
Yeah, basically you're screaming off of turn 10, and it pretty much at full speed, and you hit the pit exit just as you begin your entry into the hairpin of turn 11. You got to make a choice, left or right. Well, right, you stay on the track. Left, you're in the pits, and it's a bit of a walk around to get to that pit box. As you see the car on screen right now, just making that choice to stay on track. It's a long, winding pit lane, Soup. One of the interesting things we were talking about in the pre-race that makes this pit lane very interesting is the difference in speed coming out at the exit. You basically get thrown right into the racing line. The cars coming through there at full bore are about 40 miles an hour faster. That's if you get up to speed quickly enough to get yourself within about 30, 40 miles an hour. So we could see when these pit stops come into play here in the feature race, we could have some issues maybe with these cars coming back up into the racing line. You're going to have to be very careful getting out there back on track.
You can see qualifying going on right now with Jean-Francois Godin sitting at the top of the charts. Before we talk about some more race information, let's put our cameras on Mark Usher. Fans of this series will know that he is fast right now. He has yet to put in a qualifying time. His practice time was very fast in fourth position. He's got to get one in right now. Sean, as we look at Usher working his way around, trying to get in a good time, we talk about being fast, but you also have to keep the car healthy. How's the curbs here? Can they damage the car in Sonoma?
Well, they can, Suit. And I will tell you, for the most part, the curbs are pretty innocuous here. There's a couple of spots, I think, maybe where you could get yourself in trouble down in turn 7 and 7A, where they rise up a little bit out of the track. If you hit them awkwardly, you could be in trouble. Turn 8 and 8A, when you kind of get down through the S's there, if you miss those curbs just a little bit and maybe get off the top of the center of them, could upset the car. Where you don't want to be is in the dirt here. You don't want to be off the track surface. Once you get there, it's really, really hard to bring the car back in.
You talked about the incident cap. Is this the kind of place where you can pick them up accidentally and find yourself in close to hitting that cap?
Well, we've already seen drivers have trouble getting their opening qualifying lap in because of that. So yeah, Soup, it certainly could be a problem. I think we'll avoid that today. You may see some drivers get pretty close by just nature of trying to explore the boundaries of the track. Look for the very, very fastest way around.
So what are we in for here? Are we looking at a draft track, pack racing, long trainers? Are there enough twisty sections for the fast guys to get away?
Soup, I've thought about that a lot. I practiced for a fair bit yesterday and with several of the drivers here on track now. I don't know that a draft is going to play as much of a difference as good flow, good rhythm at this track. It's going to be really important. There's a couple really, really good danger areas, and that, of course, turn 4, very, very tough to navigate down through there. The carousel of turn 6, you're coming uphill and down around the mountain there, basically. Those are really, really tricky areas, but great overtaking opportunity out of 6 all the way down to that hairpin that is turn 7 and 7A. And you could see some overtaking there possibly as well. Where you're not going to see any overtaking is in those S's out of 7A, basically through the turn 9 complex. Maybe through turn 10, you'll see somebody try to get under, but that's pretty flat out with maybe just a small amount of lift. Where you've got to be careful coming out of turn 10 is the wall that comes up very quickly on the left-hand side, and we talked about that in the pre-race. That will jump out and bite a lot of people if you're not careful.
Qualifying just about over. I saw something interesting right now from our pole sitter, Jean-Francois Godin. He actually took the car off track and was actually practicing his starts. He did about 4 starts as if he was Shirley Cha-Cha Maldani there trying to get the car, see what he can do. Now he's sitting on the pole right next to his teammate, another Flying Frenchman. We can bring up the grid right now and we'll go through it. 2 of the Flying Frenchmen, they are French. They are separated by the Atlantic Ocean, one from Canada and one is in actual France, and that's Jean-Francois Godin on the pole and Enric Henry in second. Sean?
Row 2, Adam Tierney and Mark Usher.
Josh Thompson, Rene Oskamp, row 3.
Row 4, Christoph Holstein and Ty McLeod.
Last roll on the early, Phil Reed inside of Christian to catch.
Kerry Nolden, Lubomir Moritz there in 12th.
On Friday the 13th, and that unlucky spot is Hugo Kinye, Daniel Morris in 14th.
All right, row 8, Scott Newton and Lawrence DeReich.
Yunus Vastamaki and Knut Martinson.
Okay, row 10, Evan Imre and Jerry Moshak.
Hidden Blackjack, Stefan Larkamp, Bruno Dometer outside of him.
Harrison Finch, Stefan Herman, 23rd and 24th today.
25th and 26th, Casper Thon and Little Bird Sardub.
Row 14, Alexander Waldo and Miguel Antolin.
And then the last ones are going to be Alexis Merloso and David Wallach. Two drivers did not put in qualifying times. Along with Wallach was Lee Robinson and Silvio Hurt. 32 names out there. Okay, it is Friday the 13th. I personally
we're not supposed to talk about that, are we, Soup?
I really am not that superstitious. I'm only a little stitious. So now we're looking at the lineup out there, still waiting for them all to take their spot. You can see a couple spots. Looks like the driver in 4th position, Mark Usher, late. He did get in a good qualifying time. We talked about him. Now he's just got to get his car out to the grid. Usher sitting in 4th position. Keep an eye on him. He's going to be good.
Soup, he's making sure everybody finds their seats. There he goes. He's on the field.
That's it. Basically, he wants to make sure the GSRC commentators get their GSRC bonus for getting through the entire field before it goes green. And we've done it, boys and girls, so get ready. This is the feature race, round 5 of 12 here on the Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship, season number 7. GSRC has been here for many a seasons, and we're glad to continue that right now. The engines begin to harmonize. I can hear some of the drivers starting to work on their gears, trying to find the right gear for this. Keep an eye on the two cars up in front. Those are the Flying Frenchmen, Jean-Francois Godin and Enric Honoré. What's going to happen? Gather up the chicken stick, cover behind the cows, because the horses are out of the barn and leading the stampede down into the first corner. It is Jean-Francois Godin. Second place is his teammate, Enric Honoré. Usher in the dark blue car on the outside, trying to make some room. Not going to have it done, as that's Adam Tierney holding up for 3rd. Looking at the whole thing from 5th position is Josh Thompson.
All right, they're climbing up the hill, and they're doing it in a pretty orderly fashion. We've got one car off of the dirt that gets back up on and clean. Another one, though, off to the side. It was Jerry Mojak that got off, and it's also Daniel Morris trying to get back in line here at the back of the pack, Soup.
The drivers in 3rd position just cannot get it figured out. Finally, they get it worked out. That's Tierney ahead of Usher. Thompson going really wide, keeping the car on the tarmac. The back half of your top 10, Renee Osterkamp, Holstein, Reed, McLeod, and Nolden. So far, we are clean, Sean, all the way back. But, man, the racing has been really intense up front.
Yeah, it's been kind of intense here in the back as well. Boy, Lawrence DeReich with a really, really tough start. Struggling, spins it in turn 7, and immediately goes to the pit.
Take a quick replay of that, and I can tell you that everyone is working their way down into the hairpin right now as we look at this replay.
Yeah, and there's Lawrence there at the back, and he just struggles coming off of turn 7, heading to 7A there. He spins it, and he takes it right in for a tow.
All the remaining drivers make it through 11, and now they get their foot down on that skinny pedal as they work through 1. Sean, tell me about 1. Is that little looping left-handers there? Is that full speed?
It is, Soup. It's full speed, and then you get to the left there. You've got to get on the braking really hard going up a hill to get that car back to the right. It's a very, very tough part of this track.
We ride on board with Josh Thompson in 3rd, or back in 6th now. Osterkamp makes that move. Thompson was racing in 5th position. Renee Osterkamp, the SimRC driver, makes a great run, and now he's going to lose a spot, though, as McLeod gets around him. Osterkamp now back into 7th.
Yeah, it's struggling. Renee is struggling right now, Soup, and trying to just get back in line here with everybody as McLeod gets by him. Usher had just gotten by him, and Thompson.
Oh, a little bump and then going off. The car that went off, he got bumped. That was Kerry Nolden. See if we can see who got him. It was Holstein that got him.
Yeah.
They were racing really close, and Nolan gets the worst of that one, Sean.
Yeah, he does, and that's a shame. Boy, going to have to really work hard to get into contention in this race now. In fact, Nolan already, he just gave up, put it behind the wall there, Soup.
Oh, now Mark Usher has had a problem. This was just a self-spin, and he loops the car off into the California dust and brings it back out, but my gosh, he lost a ton of time. In fact, he had a hard time. Watch this as he tries to get it back out there. Couldn't get it straightened out and had to wait, and then he eventually just took a tow. Now,
Yeah,
Usher, remember, Usher is not racing for points. This is his first time at a race. I guess he said, not my day.
Wow, and it was Jerry Mojak that actually clips him as he was going by. The number 71 picks up heavy damage on the front of his Formula Renault 2.0 and finds himself really struggling now. We had another spinner back just behind them as they were coming through.
And Christian DeCatch, a big-name driver, has had an issue. And look at this. The car just goes left on him.
Well, it goes left because he was out in the dirt, Soup. He was out there playing in the sand on the exit, and that, boy, that really crippled him there. Yeah, we'll catch it on the replay here. You'll see he just gets too wide to the right coming down off the carousel here. And it's real easy to do. Get it out there in the dirt and back to the power a little bit too much.
Okay, let's catch our breath. And right now, it is the Flying Frenchman, and they are living up to their team name as Godin is out in front of Andre. Those guys run 1-2. They have about a 2-second cushion. Back to Adam Tierney racing in third. Some big names have fallen off. Remember, back there chasing was Usher. He's out of it now. Josh Thompson back up to fourth. Ty McLeod giving him a look.
Soup Hugo Quignet right now is having a into the top 10, being followed by Scott Newton. Newton himself already picking up 4 spots here early. Just behind them, though, let's talk about Harrison Finch real quick, Soup. Harrison.
Read my mind. You read my mind.
11 spots he's picked up already. He leads that pack just behind the 2 I was talking about. Oh, and then just behind them, it's Yunus Vastamaki with a hard shunt coming off of turn 7A.
Boy, you can see the bounce, the car bounce over the curbing, and it got it upset, and there was no coming back from that.
Boy, trouble for lots of cars. Bruno Dometer had actually had spun the car. That's Eunice right there on screen. He just knocks the whole front of that car off.
Now remember, they are playing with a fast repair, but that's only in the short sprint race coming up. There is no fast repair for these guys. And as fragile as these Renaults are, basically, your day is in. And Rene Oosterkamp.
Wow.
My gosh, Sean, I think the winner right now is Sonoma.
Yeah, and then Oosterkamp spins it out of turn 1, coming up the hill into turn 2. Certainly that is a trouble area, and you can see a lot of cars have trouble there. Oosterkamp gets caught out, loses a bunch of spots, Soup, 9 of them to be exact, falls all the way to 15th.
That's that, we talked about it. That's that braking zone out of 1 that caught him, and the car got turned around. So another big-name driver who qualified well has trouble. He qualified 6th. Oosterkamp has fallen back all the way to 15th spot now. Tierney Thompson safe, McLeod in 5th. How about a little love? Let's go to 4th, 6th position. A little love for Christoph Holstein. He hasn't had the best of seasons so far. He's got Phil Reed behind him. Remember, there is a team championship, and you see there both those guys, Formula Mini and Aperture. Aperture is the leading team, but of course, Nolden is out. So Reed looking to score points for that team. And Sean, it looks like Holstein has a little bit of front wing damage up there on the front. So,
yeah, that was from the little incident there with Kerry Nolden, and that certainly could be affecting the handling on his machine. He's got Phil Reed right behind him. It's certainly going to make catching Ty McLeod tough.
And veterans of this who watch the series not only know that's not only a price that you pay out there maybe with a little bit of speed, But iRacing will make him change that wing, and that's going to cost him 5 or 6 seconds when he comes in for his pit stop.
Ty McLeod chasing down Josh Thompson. Another good battle on track as they come down the hill. And, you know, speaking about coming down the hill, coming down out of turn 6, the carousel there, I've seen several cars run off into that dirt. That's becoming a pretty a tricky area. You see a lot of sand on the track when we come back around.
And bad news for the fans, friends, and family of Josh Thompson. We're seeing that he also has some front wing damage. And again, that's going to cost him when he comes in for that stop. McLeod racing right behind him. McLeod's really doing a good job. Let's look down there at that battle for 4th position. Things beginning to settle down a little bit. McLeod is our top tier 2 driver right now, running in 5th spot. Who's our top rookie, you may ask? Well, how about 8th? Can we get a little bit of love there to Lubomir Moric, racing all by himself in 8th. The rookie coming on, making a good impression.
Yeah, and he's got Hugo Quignet there right behind him. That's another rookie putting on a good show here for us.
Good battle going on with Quignet, and then the veteran of Scott Newton coming up behind him. That's a battle for 9th.
Okay, so the teammates, Christian Tkach and Daniel Morris, who both off to just a horrible start in this race, finally starting to make their way back to the field.
You jinxed them.
Yeah,
Well, that's
I did,
you just.
Wow.
It's just amazing how that works.
Yeah, he started to slide and then he got finished off on his spin there.
A little bit of help, yeah. It was Marilosa who got him a little turnaround, so that's a tough break for that rookie. Marilosa, go ahead.
I was going to say his teammate Daniel Morris able to actually overcome that, though, get through and get away. Daniel, though, fighting with a little bit of damage on his front wing. You see there, Marilosa picks him up there.
Yeah, that's a pretty good battle, even though it's way back out of the points right now for 22nd. That's Morris being chased down by Dometer. Back there goes Dometer. He gets that done, and now he's coming up on the rookie Yuri Morik. And Morris has decided it's time to come in. Shauna, this is really at the front of the window. I'm not sure if he's there yet.
Might be a little bit early, Soup. It'll be close.
Your top 5 running in the same order. I can report Thompson has distanced himself from McLeod a little bit. Let's go to 7th. Let's go to Phil Reed. This is a nice battle. Reed, then the rookie we talked about, Lubomir Moric, making a run on the veteran. This guy is good. From the Czech Republic. Remember, Czechoslovakia no longer around, Soup.
That's right, Soup. You obviously did some work on your geography.
I have.
Since last we were together.
I just updated, just hit refreshed in my brain and got it figured out. Now look at what's going on there from Quignet in 9th. This is a nice battle here. Also in there, Scott Newton back in 10th. And you can see at the back of the screen, that's our hard charger, Harrison Finch. Probably the best battle out on the track right now. Oh, we might have missed it there. Newton looks like he's got around him.
Yeah, I think we somehow got paid. You know what? That's okay, Soup. It's been wild and crazy here on this start, to be honest with these cars. Moving position all over the place on track right now.
Best action back in the pack. Not much going on up front as they are racing Holden Station right now. Our best battle continues to be right about where we're looking. Here's a nice one from the Orange Viking. Knut Martinson, Kmart. Boy, Josh Thompson is really talking about something. Josh, check in on Josh. What could he be upset about? He's racing all by himself. Not sure. He may be falling back now into the clutches of McLeod now. Maybe Josh just not happy with the way the track feels. Perhaps commenting on the breakup of the Soviet Union, perhaps, and not sure what he was talking about. All right, here comes the SimRC A-team driver of René Oosterkamp coming in for a stop. Just ahead of him, the Rolling Thunder, Evan Emre coming in. A pair of teammates there. And they are not teammates, as of course they are both in yellow cars, but Evan Emre, of course, racing teamed up with Knut Martinsen for Force Fissy.
A lot of action on the pit lane. This is where we talked about Soup and the difference in speed there.
Yeah, it is a like landing a jet plane coming in there. You bring it in fast and then got to get it woed up.
It's really delicate, man. Really, really is. I love that shot right there coming through the S's. Yeah, it's Soup, if you work that just right, you're practically flat out through there.
Yeah, and that camera
gotta hit your marks.
Really shows you the elevation to the rises and falls. Top 19 drivers staying out. Leaders of all the cars who pitted is Evan Emre. He races right now in 20th position. Remember, finishing on the lead lap, always important in a Formula 2.0 championship, the Formula Renault championship. They invert the grid for the sprint race. Let's go to ninth. This is our best battle that I can find. This is Hugo Kenye being challenged by Scott Newton and being helped around by Newton.
Yeah, it just in a Soup, that was netcode. Newton didn't touch him. Newton did not touch him. It was either netcode or it was Quinier.
So that's an unfortunate event. Newton now up into 10th. The good news is Quinier did not lose a lot of time. Still in the hunt. Only dropped a couple spots from Martinsen and Larkamp. There we go. As we look there now, as we'll follow along with Larkamp in 12th position. The rookie chasing the veteran of Knut Martinsen. Martinsen racing for Force Fissy. His teammates already come in for his stop and is leading all the cars that are out there right now. Evan Emre still in 20th position. Top 19 drivers yet to come in. And now here comes Scott Newton.
Yeah, Newton making his way in for his stop, Soup. Looks like the window is open.
And it'll be interesting to see if Newton can get out ahead of Emre. Emre, this will be fun. Maybe catch up Emre right now. He is just going into 11. I would expect Newton should probably be able to get out in front of him. Unless he picked up some damage from that incident. And who do we got out there? Newton is out in front.
Gets by Emre.
Emre racing in 20th. Newton now in 19th, the leader of all the cars who pitted. Let's stay on this a minute. Just up in front of him, that's Bruno Dominator.
Oh.
Did he get a piece of him, or did Dominator go around? He did. Dominator got in. It was Alexander Valdo, the yellow car in front. Dominator second in line there. They get together, and then Newton just gets a piece of him. Sean, you're never safe, and that's why we look up there at Godin and Andre. You say, well, they've got this lap locked up between them. Oh, no. Anything could happen. Let's go ahead and we're looking at that battle for 19th right now. That is René Oosterkamp. Oosterkamp has, if I'm correct, he has made his stop, if I remember. Yep. In fact, he is the leader of all the cars who pitted now as Stefan Herman comes in for his stop. Good battle going on there. And I think maybe if we can leave this, go check up front for a second, because I'm not sure how much sure this is a battle, but we have to check in on it. 7/10 of a second is the two flying Frenchmen, Godin and Andre. I don't think either one of them have had any kind of incident on track that should hurt their pit stops. And they both decide to go around one more time. Godin very, very close to being passed by Andre. Andre just back there. They go around the car that's exiting the pits. That is Bruno Dometer going to come out. Third place driver Adam Tierney gets around. We look at Adam Tierney right now racing in third position. Adam having a great season. How long can he keep it going? He has yet to get a win. Racing in third, but that's how he's been getting his points, and that's how he plans maybe to get his championship. Podium, 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 and when you're all done, you win and you find yourself at the top of the points.
Soup, man, I'm sorry, buddy. The gremlins are attacking.
Well,
today.
it is Friday the 13th, man.
And I told you, we just, that's why we don't talk about it, man. Everybody trying to thwart my Friday the 13th free day, but it's not happening.
All right, listen to me, man. Take some salt, throw it over your left shoulder. You'll be okay. Told you not to walk under that ladder. How about we go to 8th spot real quick? We're riding on board with Ty McLeod right now. We can stay here for a bit as we look at McLeod, and now we're going to go back. We're off. Let's go to 8th position. Take a quick look here at Lubomir Moric. I like this rookie. He started in 12th. He's up 4 spots.
He seems to have it kind of dialed in here.
And then the other guy, Sean, that we've been keeping an eye on is right behind him, Harrison Finch.
Both rookies, not related. One's from Central Eastern Europe and the other one from the UK and I.
But Finch up 15 spots. That's a little bit misleading, as some of that's from pit stops, but Phil Reed has come in. And he has out with a nice 4.2 second stop. I believe Phil Reed now is going to be the leaders of all the cars who've pitted. He cycles out in the unlucky spot of 13th. Phil right now not happy. He's got to hope that somebody in front of him pits soon so he can pick up a spot. Let's take a look in on this 4th position.
Yeah, Josh Thompson trying to take out Adam Tierney there.
Nope, it's...
I'm sorry, Tom. Go ahead.
Thompson ahead of Ty McLeod. McLeod, our top tier 2 driver, racing in 5th right now. In fact, the next tier 2 driver is all the way back to Knut Martinson, racing in about 9th. But this is a good battle right here we're looking at. Thompson was not happy earlier, and right now he's being run down by Ty McLeod. Boy, with Thompson losing time, this might be time for a pit stop, I would think, for Josh. If I was on his box, I'd say, Josh, let's come on in. Avoid any issues you're going to have with McLeod. They work through 5. Now they come into this big left-hander. Whee! All the way around. That's fun.
Well, you know what? That carousel's so tough, Sue, coming down that hill. The grip is practically impossible through there.
Now through what they call, it's really one corner, 7 and 7A. Now this is where you put on your dancing shoes and get some rhythm, going up through 8 and 8A. Duck down into this little, like a super bus stop through there. Are anybody going to pit? Nope, they're going to go around one more time.
One more. Yep, one more trip around. And Eric Andre starting to close in just a bit also.
He is coming. Let's go take a peek at that right now. Our spotter, Billy Bob Wright, spotted this one, and sure enough, this might just be him getting in close enough so that they can make a good pit stop together. Yeah, you know what? Our director found it too, and as the leader just blinked away for a second, but now he looks good. As they head down into 7. And again, we'll say on it, they start to get into the rhythm through these S's.
Sue, you know, we talked about rookies in Lubomir Moric and Harrison Finch. That's Kenye off the track. Oh, coming down the hill off of turn 6.
Oh,
Slides all the way off.
And he had that car pointed at the wall. I was surprised he got it turned around. A little bit of elevation is the only thing that kept him from going up into the wall there as he goes up the hill.
Yeah, all that as I was beginning to mention Stephen Larkamp, another rookie, also having a really good run here. Soup up in 9th right now. Still needs his pit stop, but a solid effort there for the Pennsylvanian. That's Martinson going in just behind him there, Soup.
He was racing in about just outside the top 10, so we'll see how he fares. I don't think he's going to get out in front of Reed. Reed should be able to get him, but maybe he might have a shot at René Oosterkamp. Oosterkamp right now coming across the start-finish line. Martinson just starting to roll. Oosterkamp's going to get him. Martinson getting out. I think that's where he's going to slot out just in front of Stefan Herman. Well, actually...
That was Evan Imre, actually.
Yeah,
Soup.
there we go.
Oh, big trouble for Thompson. Down in turn 7, Josh Thompson is going to get involved with an accident just in front of him. Who was that? That was
Waldo.
Alexander Waldo, who had gotten tipped.
What, Dometer? Dometer got into Waldo, turned Waldo around, and then the driver racing in 4th had nowhere to go. There's Dometer. Waldo goes around. And Thompson, ouch.
Yeah, and boy, that's an ender for Thompson as that destroys his car. Going to have to take the tow in from that. I don't think he opted to tow, but Harrison Finch, the rookie, in the pits, coming down the lane now, Sue.
And the racing gods did a little justice there for Bruno Dometer. They had him spin shortly after that incident. Finch coming out. See who he's got a shot maybe to get out in front of. Miguel Antolin racing in 10th. I don't think he's going to get there. I believe Finch is going to come out in 9th position. And the leader of all the cars who've pitted, Sean. Hey, Sean, Finch is in 9th. You want to take a look who's in 8th?
That would be Sarah Dove, Sue.
I love when the Dove and the Finch race next to each other. Sarah racing. She is up many positions. Of course, Sarah yet to pit, though. She is last of all the cars who have yet to pit. Well, Miguel Antolin needs to come in.
She struggled a little bit on the start, Soup, and actually has recovered really well from that. Ty McLeod now coming down the pit lane. He's coming in out of 5th place.
McLeod had been racing in 6th for the entire race. Vulture to spot when Thompson had his trouble. Now we go up to the lead. Look at this. The two
Andre
teammates
trying to pull this off from the outside.
There you go. If you're confused, Andre Oh my! Is he
Uh-oh.
gonna, oh, and now Godin is losing touch. We're going to look at the pass to help you understand who's who as we ride on board with Andre. This will help you. Andre's in the French-colored car, the red, white, and blue car, and Godin is in the French-colored car, the red, white, and blue car.
Thank you, Soup. If anybody was confused, we've straightened that out.
That's
Or you
what
could
I'm
just
here
look
for.
at or you could look at the wing and see where it says Andre on the
Andre on the
runway.
back. That'll show you. So Godin has that mistake, and that opens up the door for Enric Andre, looking to be another first-time winner today. Sean?
Francois did such a great job of saving that, Soup. That was almost tragedy there for him.
Third-place driver, Tierney, is in. Now, he's looking to get out in front of Ty McLeod. McLeod has a long way to go. McLeod's way back just through 9 right now, not even to the hairpin. So Tierney should be able to get this done easily. And there he goes. Tierney stopped, 4.4 seconds. And Tierney comes out right alongside of Bruno Dometer. Bruno's going to give him some room. That's not a battle for position. Bruno, a veteran, knows how to get out of the way. Of course, Valdo might have a different opinion.
Maybe.
Yeah. Tierney now making his stop. He's the leaders, all the cars who have pitted. Still waiting for Stephen Larkamp, and then, of course, the 2 flying Frenchmen to come in.
Coming around. Enric Andre is in.
There's
Andre's
one.
in.
And there's 2.
Yep.
Okay, well, now this will tell us who the team owner, which pit crew they paid the most money to, who has the A crew and the B crew. Andre in front. Now his pit stop is going to be before Godin. Watch Godin go through him here. Andre's going to have the second stall. And then from the magic of iRacing, the car will become transparent. And they go through. Now.
Tierney in the hairpin.
And it looked like Godin might have missed the spot a little bit, but he got in there, and they come out in the order that they went in. Now, where is Tierney?
All right, Tierney is in 1 right now, coming up the hill. About 4 seconds back, Soup, just a little over 4 seconds.
Okay. So, now we have the battle. Andre out in front, Godin right behind him. 9 minutes of racing to go. It's a little different here as you got to talk big picture, little picture. Andre can think little picture. He's really not in the championship race. Godin has to talk big picture. He can't afford to make a mistake. A second place would be big points. Remember, he's coming off 51 points that he just got at Mosport. Call him butter because he is on a roll right now as he's been really hot lately. Tierney in third. When does Stefan Larkamp come in for a stop?
Yeah, I was just sitting here contemplating that myself. Boy, yeah. Well, I mean, listen, he's put up a great effort to get to where he's at. He's got at least 30 to 32 seconds to knock out in that delta. He could still get a top 10 run here, but he is going to most certainly have to pit. And there he goes. Larkamp coming in.
He will easily be able to come in and get out on the lead lap. 22 drivers still on the lead lap right now as we look at the rookie coming on in. He was racing. He was our top rookie right now. He's going to certainly give that up to Harrison Finch. And now, Sean, we can give our attention to the 2 flying Frenchmen up front. Godin starting to come in. Holstein.
Oh, Holstein in turn 1 coming up the hill, and it was that braking zone. He got caught out and locked him up off the track.
He was trying to get that spot. That was Harrison Finch in front of him.
Yeah, watch him here getting into turn 1. Holstein on the brakes. It locks up on him, and he's off into the dirt. Doesn't make any contact. He gets back out on the track in between Knut Martinsen and Evan Imre.
Remember, again, in the team championship, that's another Formula Mini driver. As they try to run down Aperture Racing. Aperture has left the window open right now.
Just up the track in front of them, Soup, is Stephen Larkamp, who did come out back in the top 10. He's sitting in 8th right now, and boy, really solid effort going on by him. That strategy seems to have paid dividends all of a sudden. And
go ahead, Sean.
Andre had a little bit of trouble. He picked up some right front wing damage.
Yeah, we're getting a report that he had all 4 tires off in the dirt. Probably bounced it over some of the landscaping there, and now his car is damaged a little bit, and
oh
boy, ready to pounce is his teammate.
Yeah, Francois was all over him there as they were making their way into turn 6.
Now they go into turn 6, trying to make the move on the outside is Godin. We'll stay on this one as this is the best battle on the track right now. Andre starts to pull away. Godin gets a bad exit.
Boy,
now they work their
more
way up
trouble
the
for Holstein. And it was, boy, it was turn 2 this time. He gets through 1, but the top of the...
And then the look of the car gets off in the dust. And it goes from bad to worse. Let's go back up live now. Now we'll see what kind of top speed Henrik Andre has. As he's being chased by his teammate, Jean-Francois Godin. Here comes Godin as they work their way into 2. We'll stay on this one a little bit. 5 minutes of racing to go. 22 cars on the lead lap. I think maybe Alexis Menaloso is going to be safe. Don't think these guys are going to get there. Andre now only a car length ahead of Godin. These guys have to be careful. It's only 4 seconds back to Adam Tierney in 3rd. Taking a peek. Godin can't get it done. They work through the carousel. Godin looking to get a good drive off of 6.
He can get him down here in 7.
Here he goes. They're going to go 2 wide through 7. Can he get the drive off the corner? They are side by side. Not going to happen yet. Where's he going to get him, Sean?
Well, here we go.
11.
Get out of the S's here, possibly at 11. Maybe on the exit of turn 10 here. Going to try and make the move.
Godin looking all over now as he goes in. I think maybe looking for an over under the defensive line by his teammate. Tries to get underneath him. Tries to get a drive off. Not going to happen this time. 4 minutes of racing to go. Let's see how it plays out as they go through this tricky. The left-hander here that is 1. Then they got to get on the braking zone. Godin backs out.
Soup, I think it's going to take a little hucklebuck, a little dipsy-do. What do you think?
It might take something fancy there. Remember, they are teammates, but they are racing hard right now. Sometimes it's hard to keep the big picture in mind when you're having so much fun. And that's why they do it. It is for fun, after all. Now they come into the carousel. Our attention focused on the leaders right now. Just over 3 minutes to go. They work through the carousel. Down into 7. This is where Godin has been very good. He's starting to gobble them up. He's going to try it one more time. They go 2 by 2 around. There is traffic coming ahead. It gets closer. Here's the hokey doke, the hucklebuck that Sean was talking about, but it's not going to work.
Oh, boy. That 7 and 7A seem to be the really, really good opportunity down there, Soup, but you've got to hold it. You've got to complete the pass and hold on to it.
If Godin could get around and he could say, see you later, boy, like you were a skater boy. Right now, they work down into 11. Taken again, the defensive line is Andre. This time with a much better drive off as Godin. They are Cialis bathtubs down the main straight. But the shorter way around is for Andre. But does he have the top speed in the car? This is the closest that Godin has been. Now he works trying to get to the left of him. He can't get it done. Man. Another bite out of the apple, and soon there's going to be nothing left but core. Andre out in front using every trick in the book to keep his teammate behind him. 2 minutes of racing to go.
Soup Harrison Finch is trying to hang on to his 5th place spot. Rene Osterkamp, Lubomir Moritz trying to catch him.
We look at that right there. Let's go back up to the lead. Here we go. He's making another run now into 7. One more time on the outside. We've seen it once. We've seen it twice. Will the third time be the charm? This time he's going to try to get a good drive. Oh, he's really close this time. Not going to get the car. Gets a little loose from Godin, but he has the momentum. There's no way to pass as they go through 8. He's got to get right in behind him. Suck up in. Then they come through this tricky corner of 10 where that wall gets so close to you on the outside there. They're okay. Godin not going to be able to close enough to get it done into 11. We get to 1 minute of racing to go. It is Henrik Andre leading his teammate Jean-Francois Godin. Godin with a great run this time. He's got the momentum. Andre fights back. Godin had to lift a little bit. Now they are 2 wide through 2. He can't one more time. He tries, but he can't do it. It is Jean-Francois Godin.
Tierney is back there licking his chops, Soup.
He's a coming too. He's that gap, which was once about 4 seconds, is now down to only a second. And closing. Godin has a bad exit. Here comes a third country to the mix. It is Adam Tierney. Now Godin cannot afford to be too aggressive. He's got to drive with his eyes ahead and one eye in the mirror. Into 7. What will happen is those 2 cars up front will punch a huge hole in the air that'll help Tierney if he wants to get in there. We are on the white flag lap. Godin off into the sand. That's going to really hurt him as a chance to get the lead as he falls back into the clutches of Tierney. Now Godin, who is already faster than Andre. The problem is, though, he's lost 1.3 seconds now.
Last chance.
As we go. And there you have it. He was able to hold him off. Henrik Andre gets the win. Jean-Francois gets second. Adam Tierney gets third.
McLeod's going to come home in 4th, but Harrison Finch still trying to hold off Rene Osterkamp back here, Soup. This is the battle for 5th. Out of the hairpin one last time. Finch hanging on to it. I don't think Osterkamp's got anything for him here. Harrison Finch going to come home in 5th, the rookie. Highest finished rookie in the field, Lubomir Moritz, 7th. Steven Larkamp. All those rookies finishing in the top 10, Sue.
Evan Emre comes across in 9th, just a few seconds ahead of Herman. Oh, he made, in fact, if he got that pass made. Hugo Quinier is going to get 13th position.
Yeah, we do have a replay of that overtake by Emre.
We're going to see that right now. Oops. Here it comes. Oh, we don't have it after all.
That's okay. It was a great pass in the hairpin there, the final turn, that Emre was able to get that done.
Alexis Morioso not able to finish on the lead lap. He's finishing in the blackjack spot. First car 1 lap down. Casper Thon in 20th. The rookie will be sitting on the pole when we come back for the sprint race. Now remember, the best part of any doubleheader is the break in between. It is that perfect blend of a post-race high and the pre-race jitters. With that said, we're going to take a short break, but we will be back to run down the entire finishing order of the feature race that just concluded, talk to some of the drivers, and then get all of our ducks in a row for the 25-minute sprint race to come up. Don't go far. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship. Round 5 from Sonoma. The feature race is in the books. Let's run down the finishing order right now. It was the two Frenchmen, Enric Henry and Jean-Francois Godin, 1-2. Godin did everything he could to get around his teammate, but it didn't happen. Adam Tierney in third place. Watch the whole battle ahead of him. Ty McLeod is our top Tier 2 driver in fourth, and our top rookie right behind him. A great run from Harrison Finch in fifth. Rene Oosterkamp, another Tier 2 driver. Lubomir Moric in seventh position. Let me correct myself. That was a rookie. Stefan Larkamp, another rookie in eighth. Here comes your second Tier 2 driver. That is Evan Rolling Thunder Emre in ninth. And then in 10th, Stefan Herman. Sean?
All right, then we go to 11th. It's going to be Knut Martinsen finishing there today. He come up 7 spots to get there. Sarah Dove with a good drive today, Soup. She'll finish 12th after starting 26th. So good job, Sarah.
Yeah.
Josh Thompson, 13th for him. Tough race. Christian to catch actually does a good job of recovering to finish 14th, Soup. He, of course, had trouble early, got all the way to the back of the pack and brings himself to that 14th finish. Hugo Quinier, 15th. 16th, Daniel Morris. 17th, Phil Reed. Miguel Antolin, 10 spots to the good there. Finishes 18th. Scott Newton in 19th. And Casper Thron. Casper is going to be the last car on the lead lap, Soup, and finish 20th.
And don't you love it when the drivers are kind enough to sort out their lead lap finishes so that matches up nicely on our overlays as we start a freshman now in the blackjack spot. The first car 1 lap down. He had a chance to finish on the lead lap, but those leaders ran him down. Alexis Mariloso, he's going to start in 21st position for the feature race. Yuri Mojek behind him in the double duck spot. Bruno Dometer and Sylvia Hurt go 23rd and 24th. 25th, Christoph Holstein. We saw him running up front for a long time till he ran into trouble. Alexander Valdo got turned around. He's going to finish in 26th position. Jonas Vastamaki also came into some trouble. 27th for him. Really fast driver Mark Usher. Let's hope he returns for the sprint race. He's going to have to settle for 28th right now. Kerry Nolden, the Aperture Racing driver, scores no points for his teammate, Phil Reed. Lawrence Sudden Strike Right had trouble early in 30th, and then the last two drivers on there, David Walbach and Lee Robinson, 31st and 32nd. There you have it, Sean. Nobody coming in to talk to us so far. Maybe that's good. What about that battle up front from those two Frenchmen? My gosh.
Yeah, well played by both, Soup. They're talking about it in the YouTube chat. But just a really, really good sportsmanship, a great battle that sees Enric Andre get a big win there. And now, Soup, those two are going to have a lot of work to do here. 20 cars. Okay, they're going to have to get through 20. Well, to be exact, they're going to have to get through 18 of them to get back to the front and try and put on a show in just basically 25 minutes. I don't know if that's going to work out for them. They're going to have some pretty tough customers in front of them. Honestly, though, because of some trouble by some of the drivers early, they're going to have some pretty tough customers right behind them. The likes of Kerry Nolden and Lawrence DeReich and Eunice Vastamaki, Holstein. You're going to have to watch out. Bruno Dometer going to be there back there with him. So, Soup, it should be an interesting start to this race. And I will say one thing that was kind of nice to watch on the start of this race, the fact that they have the tire warmers now for the Formula Renault 2.0.
Yeah.
It really wasn't that bad getting up the hill there into turn 1 and around turn 2. Turns 3 and 4 as well. When we got started, that was pretty clean.
Without question, that feature has changed the entire aspect of the first lap in an AOR race. Yes, they do much better job of getting through there. It was so slippery before. Hey, we want to talk about the inverted field. We always like to look at who was the fast driver in the feature race that had trouble that's going to start somewhere back there. Well, you got Phil Reed. He qualified 9th for the feature race. He's going to be starting outside of row 2. But maybe the guy to keep an eye on early is going to be Josh Thompson. Now, he's going to be starting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Outside of row 4. He was really fast in the feature, Sean. And I think if he can, well, there's Christian to catch in there too. Yeah. Boy, there's some big names up in the front.
Like I said, Eric Andre and Francisco Dan, they're gonna have their hands cut out for them. They're gonna have their work cut out for them because they've got some pretty tough competition that's gonna be starting right next to them there on the grid.
Yes, hopefully they won't have their hands cut out for them. That would be very tough. Let's go ahead and talk to one of the drivers that I think has a real good chance to win the sprint race, and that is Josh Thompson. He's going to be starting outside of row 4. Josh, let's talk about your feature race. First of all, you were running safely in about 4th or 5th. I want to ask you, early on in the race, though, I heard you complaining about something. There was nobody around you. Do you remember what you might have been talking about?
Yeah, so when I was battling with Usher, we both went off, and it ruined the front wing. It shows on the broadcast the front wing kinks up. So it damaged the front wing, so I was losing a lot of just overall pace. Like comparing it to my practice, when I did a practice racing in the session in the practice, I was doing about 3-4 tenths a lap. So that was what Tierney, so I couldn't keep up with the guys in front. They were pulling away. Looking if I had I was having a good battle with Ty, which was all right, and then the back marker thing that happened, dropped all the way back down. But put a new wing on in the pit stop, did my personal best straight after I put my new wing on. So it showed that I did have damage. So it wasn't just me. And then I had to avoid a crash again, so I damaged the front wing. I had to avoid the crash going wide over the curb. So, yeah, tough race, really.
Okay, well, look, the session is up. You're starting 8th. Go in there, get in some practice laps. We'll keep an eye on you, and let's see if you can get a victory here in the sprint.
Yeah. Cheers.
All right, there you have it. Josh Thompson, we'll take an eye on him. All right, what we're going to do right now on the Global Sim Racing channel is take a short break. We'll get everything lined up. We'll be back in just a few minutes to bring you that sprint race. Don't go far. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of the Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship. And we are here to bring you the sprint race, which we hopefully will be able to do for you soon. Right now, your commentators are having a little bit of some technical gremlins going on. But we can tell you that the sprint race is about to start. It's going to be a 25-minute sprint race. There will be no pit stops. They're going to inverse the grid, starting from the lead car on the car that finished last on the lead lap. He'll get to start at the front of the grid right now. You can see that they're putting in some practice laps right now. This is not qualifying. This is only practice laps, as the grid is already set from the previous session. I'm here all by myself as my partner Sean Ambrose is not around. Maybe we can go ahead and bring in our spotter here, give Billy Bob a little bit of talking time here, if we're able to do that. Billy Bob Wright, welcome to the broadcast, and that was an eventful one that you had to look at.
It was, Sue, and thanks for having me on board. It's always a pleasure to be with GSRC, but yeah, that one was exciting right down to the very finish, and started off with a lot of carnage at the beginning of the race, and then we got to see a really fine battle for the top 3 positions right there at the end, and Andre bringing home the win after a well-deserved, hard-fought battle.
Okay, going to pull back the curtains here a little bit. Truth be told, right now, I am personally having trouble getting into the session, so we have multiple ways to call these things, but right now we can see we're looking at Mark Usher. Now, Usher had trouble early on as he was not able to put in a very good race at all. Had a great qualifying run. Remember, he wasn't able to get that early qualifying run in there. Was able to get in that good lap time, and he finished 4th in qualifying, but then he ran into some issues and was not able to have a good race. He's not going to start on the up front as he finished off the lead lap. He'll be starting way in the back. Now, we're looking now as we go through here. We have a nice view from the blimp, as we will do our best, and I am very, very limited with what I can do, but I have ways of calling this one right now, as we're going to go ahead and call the grid for you, and we'll bring that up. There we go, and there's our grid right now. And sitting on the front, it is Casper Thon with Scott Newton. In the second row, Phil Reed, Hugo Kenye, Christian Tkach, and Newt Martinson, Stefan Herman, and Evan Emre, Stefan Larkamp, and Ludmir Moric making up the 9th and 10th spot. As we move to the next overlay now, you'll see who is in row number 6. It is Renee Osterkamp and Harrison Fitch, Ty McLeod and Adam Tierney, Jean-Francois Godot, Sylvia Hurt in 16th position, Alexander Baldo, Giannis Vastamaki, Mark Usher. We move to the next one, Kerry Nolden in the 20th position. 21st spot is going to, and that's all we have. Okay. Oh, you know what? Obviously, there must be some issues as half of our field is missing, as I, too, am having trouble getting onto this session. And misery loves company, so at least I am not alone there.
Boy, and here I thought I was the only one having problems today, Sue.
Are you actually, can you see the race, Sean?
I cannot. Not yet.
I actually have seen the little green watch button, so there's a chance. Oh, looks like somebody may have jumped the start there.
We are away, Soup.
Oh, what they are going to do is,
okay,
because yours truly, I think they're doing this just for me, because yours truly and probably half the field also had trouble getting in. I believe what they're going to do is give another session, and so they'll just restart this whole thing. So what we'll do right now is, you know what? Casey Lalonde and Eric Ekholm provide the music for GSRC. If you haven't had a chance to download some of their music, you don't know what it's all about, take this brief intermission to listen to some of their stuff, and then you can see the screen later on in the broadcast to how to contact some of them and download some of their digital music. It's really good. You'll enjoy it. It's good for all occasions, for weddings. If a burglar breaks into your house, you can put this on. It'll give you more adrenaline to fight them off. Okay? Use it for any occasion. Casey Lalonde and Eric Ekholm. What we're going to do right now is take a short break. You can also see the upcoming broadcast that you'll see on the Global Sim Racing channel back in a few. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship Round 5 from Sonoma. It was the French who coined the phrase deja vu, and we had two Frenchmen right now who finished 1-2 in the feature race. And if you think you're experiencing some deja vu, well, you are, because we're going to do a reset here and run through one more time the events that are coming up here in this sprint race coming up. Sean, tell us now officially, what is the deal with the sprint race?
Okay, 25 minutes, Soup, and we are inverting the grid from the finish, the top 20 of, or I'm sorry, the all the drivers on the lead lap of the feature race. One fast repair. You will get that here in the sprint race if you need it. Probably still won't make much of a difference. You'll at least get back to fight for points, but any chances of winning may be out the door if you have to get a fast repair. Now, the incident cap, only 12 incidents here in the sprint race. Now, we didn't see anybody get disqualified in the feature race, but Soup, it was close. There were a couple drivers that were right there in the edge, so they're going to have to be a little bit more careful here in this sprint race to try and stay within that 16 points. Or, 12 points.
Yeah, the warm-up there to that last sprint event reminded me when I was younger and I was dating this girl. We'd go out to happy hour. She could talk up a storm. I would just park her right there so that I could look up at the TV, and I would just kind of say, and that's what I was kind of doing there as I was multitasking through all the issues that were going on and still trying to hold a conversation with you, the viewers. Well, let me tell you what has happened. There was some type of bug on Friday the 13th, and we knew it was going to happen, Sean. None of the drivers could get into the grid, so this kind of wiped it clean, and everyone comes back and we get a fresh start. And what that means, though, is we get a little added bonus for this, because we're going to bring Billy Bob Wright in as our third commentator here to help out a bit. Billy Bob, welcome to a GSRC broadcast. This is your first time. We'll take it easy on you. And what do you think of that feature race that just took place?
Well, I get to do my start twice. This is great. I love this broadcasting stuff. No, it was really, hey, anybody that watched it, man, it was great. A lot of carnage in the first hand. Some people like that, not me so much. But then the finish was awesome, man. Really good race for the first two positions in there on the last couple of laps. Actually a three-way battle. So good stuff here in the 2.0 series for sure.
The sprint race always keeps our head turning here. We will do our very best to make the sprint race broadcast not look like a music video with short 10-second cuts everywhere. Well, if we can, we'll try to stay on the bat a little bit so you, the viewers, can get the feel of what it's like. My wife, when she watches me watch one of our broadcasts, when I happen to tune in and watch Sean Ambrose call like a bootleg race on Saturday night, she says, you know, you watch the broadcast with your eyes, but you seem to also watch it with your feet and your shoulders. So she'll see me leaning left and leaning right and using the invisible clutch pedal there as I'm watching Sean. That's hopefully we can give the viewers a little bit of what's going on right now, but it's so hectic in these races, kind of hard to give a long piece of racing battle, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's going to be hectic in this one, Soup, as we get restarted here with a 25-minute sprint race. They will be scrambling up the hill to get started. You know, we talked about it in the feature race that the tire warmers had really kind of leveled things out for the drivers on the starts of these races. Well, I'll tell you what, the action always a little bit more intense in the sprint races. Obviously, you've got a lot of fast drivers trying to make their way back through the field as quickly as they can for big points and possibly even a win. Today, it'll be no different. We saw several drivers have trouble getting up the hill in turn one there to get the car under braking in time to make the right-hander for turn two. It's pretty tricky, Soup, and it's going to be tricky for this field as they make their way through here on the opening lap. It looks like we've got just under a minute to go here before we get started.
We think that Phil Reed and Josh Thompson are going to be the drivers to watch early, as they're the biggest names that are up front. There is one driver, though, I want you to keep an eye on, and I keep mentioning him, and it is Mark Usher in car number 8. He didn't finish on the lead lap. He was incredibly dominant earlier in season 6. He hasn't raced so far this season. He will be starting way back in about 22nd position. We'll keep an eye on him to work his way through the field. He might be just as fast as those two flying Frenchmen of Jean-Francois Godin and Enric Andre. The good news for Jean-Francois Godin, he couldn't get around his teammate in the feature race. At least when they regrid, he'll be around him as he'll the grid in front of him. We'll tell you that starting grid right now as the practice is done. Let's go through this as we have a much bigger field this time. It looks like most of the drivers were able to get back in here. As soon as iRacing populates our starting grid, we'll tell you what it is, and there it is. On the front row, it's Casper Thane and Scott Newton, Miguel Antolin and Phil Reed in row 2, Daniel Morris and Hugo Kinye behind them, Christian Tkach and Josh Thompson, watch out for him, in 8th. Sarah Dove in 9th, good finish from here. Knut Martins running out your top 10. Sean?
Stefan Ehrman 11th, Evan, really tough Imre in 12th, Stephen Larkamp in 13th, Lubomir Moric there in 14th, 15th, Renee Osterkamp, Harrison Finch 16th, 17th, going to go to Ty McLeod, Adam Tierney in 18th, Francois Godin in 19th, and Eric Andre 20th.
Alexis Morloso in the blackjack spot, Yuri Mojak in 22nd, Silvio Hurd, Alexander Valdo, Yunus Vostamaki, Mark Usher back in 26th. He's got a long way to go and a short time to get there. Kerry Nolden, another fast driver, in 27th. All right, we promised that we'd bring it to you. Friday the 13th be darned. We have thrown the salt over our shoulder. We have blown on our 4-leaf clover. We've glued the mirror back together, and right now we're ready to go racing for the 25-minute sprint race here on the Apex Online Racing Formula Renault 2.0 Championship. Sean, what's up?
We had somebody jump the start, Soup. Knut Mortensen jumps it, drops all the way to the back of the pack as they get started in trouble just in front of him. Kerry Nolden has trouble.
Easy, boys. See, the problem was they didn't get together at their chickens. They covered me on the cows. That's what happened there. Out in front, it is our leader. It's able to hold on to the lead. It is the rookie, Casper Thon. Oh, but he's off in the grass. He's going to lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions. Scott Newton now takes over the lead. Josh Thompson is upset about sudden. And now we have a new leader as Newton loses the position to, well, it didn't take long, Phil Reed. Antolin in 4th position. Morris in 5th.
Yeah, that was Thompson and Tkach that got together, and I don't think either were very happy with each other, Soup.
And we're getting reports. We will come back to it when we have an opportunity. Mark Usher and we believe Kerry Nolden, those two fast drivers, they were both involved in first lap incidents. So let's catch our breath here and set the stage for where we are. Your timing and scoring is being a little bit off right now. Phil Lead is your leader, although there is a car in the pits. Let's actually wait. We'll do this once they go across the finish line. What do you got, Sean?
Eric Andre just screaming up through the field, passes 3 cars down in the hairpin in turn 11. Andre moving up, just getting past.
Oh, look at that.
Emre, and now working on Casper Thon.
Oh, my goodness. He has made up all those positions. Here we go. Phil Reed out in front, being challenged by Scott Newton right now. And that's a pretty darn close battle. 3rd position, Morris, Kinye, and Antolin. They go 3, 4, 5. I have to keep the eye on this battle for up front. This is intense. Phil Reed, here comes Newton. Newton tries pressing in there. Boy, this looks like deja vu, what we just saw from Godin and Eric Andre, and Newton goes off. He's going to lose all sorts of time, lose momentum. Maybe Morris might be able to run him down for 3rd, for 2nd. Going really wide out there now is Reed. Reed still can't get the car underneath him. Sean, the racing up front is intense.
You know what? It's pretty intense behind it, too, Soup. So everybody got through 7 and 7A. They were side by side. Now things starting to kind of go line of stern as they make their way through the S's into this back section of the course. And right now, Mark Usher side by side with Casper Thron. Usher going to complete the pass as he makes his way down into turn 11. He's going to bring Evan Imre with him there.
We reported that Usher was involved in an accident. We can report clearly that he is not, as he has made his way up from 11th, from all the way back in what was, I believe, 20th position? No, it was like 27th position for Usher. He is rolling. 26 for Usher. Sarah Dove in 8th position ahead of Godin.
Stefan Herman had trouble in turn 1, having trouble getting around, and now Eric Andre
more trouble
is
now, doesn't he? Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
No, we're right on it. Eric there has picked him up. It's a bad time for Herman to have trouble coming down here through turn 6. Andre sure to try and pass him here as they make their way down into 7.
Let's go up front. Newton on the outside of Reed. Again, as they work through 7, but that's not going to happen. Oh, Newton, horrible off, and he's going to lose the position to Morris. I think Morris now side by side. They race careful, boys. This is tough to go side by side through these S's, and that's going to allow. Oh, here comes Quinet into the party. Morris has to back out of the Red Devil racing machine, and Quinet now up into 3rd spot. This is all good news for Phil Reed. He says, fight it out, boys. I need all the gap I can get. Oh, Sean, Enric Andre is on a roll. He's made his way around Stefan Herman. The bad news is now he's got that nonsense in front of him between Newton, Quinet, Morris, and Antolin.
Well,
Antolin is loose. Antolin is off in the grass. Ooh. He pinwinds it around right in front of Enric Andre. Comes back out onto the pavement. Luckily does not come out in front of traffic. Gets it rolling again. But some drivers have to avoid, and they sure enough, it costs them some issues.
They had to avoid Herman.
Usher had trouble, and now Enric Andre has had issues. Andre is off. He noses into the wall.
Oh, no.
And he's
Andre,
done.
Yeah, big trouble for Andre there in turn 3.
The action, hot and intense, is too much to cover. Look, that was just a self-spin.
It was, Soup.
Phil Reed saying, shoot, on that one.
Wow. Soup, we just got past the 5-minute mark. All this has transpired in just over 5 minutes.
The big names who are gone, remember, we talked about Josh Thompson. No, he is not there anymore. Enric Andre had climbed through the field. He's not there anymore. That maybe opens up the door for maybe his teammate now. Maybe Jean-Francois Cadoux can get there. Don't forget about Mark Usher. He's up to 8th. Can we take a second? Can we catch our breath? Will they behave for a minute? We'll run down the top 10. Phil Reed, up in front by 2.3 seconds. I'm going to hustle through this because it's too intense for me to stay too long anywhere. Scott Newton racing in 2nd, but he's being challenged by Hugo Quinet, who is really under attack by Daniel Morris. There's your top 4. 5th place, Rene Osterkamp. Osterkamp up 10 spots as he started in 15th. Mark Usher up 20 spots as he started in 26th, racing in 6th. He's being chased by the runner-up in the feature race, Jean-Francois Godin in 7th. Sarah Dove in 8th. She's being hunted down by the Rolling Thunder, Evan Emre behind him. And rounding out your top 10, Adam Tierney. Holy smokes.
Yeah. Well, Eunice Fostamaki had a good battle going with Kerry Nolden, and Nolden gets by as Nolden continues his recovery here. He's up 13 spots now into 14th, so working on trying to find Alexander Waldo about a second in front of him.
Okay, we still have 18 minutes of racing left. What I'm going to do is give you an interval from Phil Reed back to Jean-Francois Godin. And that interval right now, mark it down on your clipboards, boys and girls, 10.1 seconds. I would think that that's probably enough time for Godin to at least put the pressure on.
Sarah Dove got in a hot in turn 11 just a bit. Now it's brought Evan Emre and Adam Tierney to her wing, trying to hold them off going up the hill here.
Rene Osterkamp has had an issue, as has Christian to catch, but Osterkamp was running in the top 10. He loops it right in front of Mark Usher, who escorts Osterkamp out of the way and says, friend of the bride, friend of the groom. He sits Osterkamp in the grass, and now Usher is up to 5th. In fact, Sean, I hate to interrupt, Usher has got around Jean-Francois Godin.
He has, yes. Yes, indeed, he has. Soup, I'm glued on this battle for 7th right now. Sarah Dove doing a good job of hanging on. Adam Tierney, Evan Emre. Tierney just past Emre. Rene Osterkamp in that mix.
Tierney, again, your overall points leader right now. And this is how he's been doing it. does not have a win, and right now he'd just like to pick up one more spot, more points. And right now, those points are being held by Sarah Dove. Remember, in the sprint race, they only play 2/3 the value. That only pays down to 16th position. So we talked about that interval back to Godot from the leader. Maybe we'll change that now. Let's see what our interval is from Reed back to Usher. 9.1 second. Remember, it was 10 seconds back to Godot. Now it's only 9 back to Usher. Usher is a-coming. Fans, I hate to give you target fixation there on Mark Usher, but Sean and I have been doing this long enough that we can sometimes get a feel for what's happening. How is Sarah Dove doing with Tierney? Uh-oh. Here comes Adam. Sarah coming off a 12th place finish in the feature race. She's really been on a roll of late. Had a good result at most part. Right now being challenged. And basically Sarah just waves her wing and sends Tierney on through.
Soup, Kerry Nolden back here working really hard to try and take another position. He's up 15 spots in 12th right now. He's got the rookie, Miguel Antolin, right in front of him. They make their way out of the S's down to turn 11. Let's see if Nolden can get a run at him here.
Nolden started dead last. Very, very close to Mark Usher. Usher had a little more success getting through the field. We don't need to go there. I can just report that Alexander Valdo just pinwheeled his car around and backed it into the barricades. He is done. He was racing in 17th, just out of the points, as we ride on board of Antolin, looking back at Kerry Nolden. Nolden, the 8th Aperture Racing driver, racing car number 35.
Ooh,
oh my
right
goodness.
Up on him there. Nolden working with some rear wing damage on his Formula Renault.
I think that's part of the damage that he picked up early. And we can report that one of the birds has had trouble. Harrison Finch, just coming out of 11, bangs it into the outside wall. He was racing outside the points in 21st. Looking at Antwell, and now we go to there. We go. Now we're going to jump back to Kerry Nolden.
Yeah,
I like it now.
Oh boy, that did not end well. I don't think that's the way he wanted to do that.
Take another look at it from above, Sean. You saw it happen live.
Yeah, Kerry just gets in there hot and stuck it in there when he probably shouldn't have. He'd probably agree. This is a bad spot to try and make a pass in these S's like that.
Well, he had such a great run out of 7 that he didn't want to lose it.
Right. He didn't want to break momentum. I totally get that. And that results in his taking a tow back to the pit. Okay. The good news is for Antolin. Antolin was able to keep going with very minimal damage on the car.
I'm going to be the town crier here. Get up on my soapbox, ring the bell, ding-a-ling-a-ling. 8 seconds now. 7.9 seconds the gap between Reed and Usher. And all is not well with the guys in front of Mark Usher right now. The next on the hit list would be Daniel Morris, racing in 4th. He's got about a 3-second lead. Morris behind Kinney and Scott Newton. Osterkamp. Oh, he spins it around and wallops the wall with a wallop.
Yeah, and boy, that was not good for Osterkamp. In fact, more than just wallops the wall, the car gets upside down on him.
Yeah, the car
he just loses it, and he broke right in front of Sarah Dove. I don't know if we want to look at the replay from Sarah Dove, but she just barely missed hitting him. That had to be a scary moment for her. Here we are on board. She's coming down the hill here out of turn 6. Osterkamp gets by, and you're going to see his car break loose.
Oh, my.
Off the train.
Sarah let him go, and then he gets out of the way. Sarah racing in 8th spot right now. Next up, to give her a little trouble, will be Evan Imre. Let's go to 5th real quick, because this is Usher and Godot. Godot's starting to come back on him now.
Yeah, and boy, talk about a race. This is going to be a good one.
And these guys cannot afford to slow each other down. If Usher does not want to race defensively here because he's got other fish to fry. He would like to go up and run down some of these guys ahead. First would be Morris. That interval, 2.1 second. Morris doing a good job of staying ahead of him. Sean, do you think, starting from the back, can you use up your stuff like we see when we do those bootleg racing leads, those short track stuff? Do you think maybe Usher, the pace will slow down after a while or not so much?
Maybe not so much, but you can definitely use your stuff up if you're sloppy and you're, really, really beating up your tires and such. But that has not been the case with these two. Just driving hard, racing hard. And I imagine both cars will maintain speed as long as they keep it in the gray.
7.5 seconds, the gap from Reed back to Usher. Newton, Quinier, and Morris between those drivers. Our points champion leader right now, Adam Tierney, comfortably in 7th, racing all by myself. All right. Sarah Dove in 8th, Emre in 9th. Let's go see if we can find a battle anywhere in the points. How about maybe 12th position real quick? Peek in on Jerry Mojak, Ty McLeod. These guys are all racing for points here. And then the rookie, Lubomir Moric. Nice little 4-car train, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th.
Yeah, they're really not far from catching Yunus Fastamaki and Casper Thron here for the top 10. So it's really a battle to get into the top 10, Soup. Casper Thron, after starting up front, has recovered pretty well, actually, after dropping through the field, and he's been able to keep Yunus Fastamaki here at bay. I don't know how much longer that's going to last. Here comes Yunus now.
It's a good battle going on back there. We'll check in on that one. That battle back for about 14th position in a minute. Ty McLeod in that one as well. Oh, let's go up to Vastamaki. This battle for 11th. Here comes the rookie. Yuri Morjak on the inside as they work into 11. He's got it. Vastamaki's going to lose a spot. McLeod wants in there as well. Now coming back is Vastamaki. He fights to get his nose in. Inside of 1. These guys are racing for points. They have to cool it off a bit.
Well, they're all chasing Casper Thron. Casper hanging on to it here so far, Soup. 10th is still his, but boy, here comes Yuri Mojak, Yunus Fastamaki. Ty McLeod's back there. We haven't even talked about Ty much.
Billy Bob, you've been watching that battle with Usher. Godot starting to close in on him, huh?
Yeah, man, they're getting close, and it's really just a battle of mistakes. I mean, they both are turning in pretty consistent laps, but they'll make mistakes here or there, and it really shows up that what they're doing is trying a little harder than their race pace, and that the car pushes off, and they lose the gap, then they chase back in. Really good fight.
And that's a great point you make, because all that horseplay that's been going on between Usher and Godin, that has let that gap to the leader stabilize right now, as it's still about 7 seconds. It's hard to run down the leader and fight for position at the same time.
Yeah, I've been watching the top 5, and that's really true from second on back to these guys, that the lap times are showing, as Godin almost spins, and he loses a lot of time.
Yeah, now that opens up to almost a second. There's the Frenchman trying to get in there. Remember, again, this is a difference of two people, different attitudes here. Godin thinking big picture. He's in the championship hunt. Mark Usher is not. He's just out there having fun right now, racing for points. That's not the case for... Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. So I said Godin has been just a beast on the brakes, man, especially down into the hairpin by the pit entrance. And that time he just tried it a little too hot and almost spun the car. He was lucky to save that.
Soup, this battle for 10th place continues to rage on. It's a 6-car battle now. Casper Thron. Well, it was. Yeah, Casper Thron now under threat from Yuri Mojak. Mojak going to get him there into turn 7, and he's going to hold on to it out of 7A. Wow, good move there by Mojak. And now Casper's got to worry about Ty McLeod. McLeod trying to make his way through here.
Yeah, Thon's exit out of 7 was crushed there by the pass, and now McLeod trying to get in the mix. All that going on. There's that right behind him, the Vastamaki and Morik battle going on as well. Good racing all the way through the field. Phil Reed knows none of it right now, though, up by 2 seconds over Scott Newton. We ride looking off the back of Thon. Look at our director pan that camera. There you can see the move by as he tries to make it, and I think there it is. McLeod gets the position. Who are our best Tier 2 drivers? Well, things are always shaken up here in the sprint race when they invert the field. Top Tier 2 driver right now, Scott Newton, racing in second. Top rookie driver, Hugo Quignet, racing in third.
I was just about to say, right behind him. And then you got Daniel Morris, the other Tier 2 driver there, sitting in fourth, Soup. And Morris really starting to maybe make up a little bit of ground here on Hugo Quignet.
Uh-oh. Let's go to Morik. I think this is pretty much just a few seconds ago. He had an off, and he lost a couple positions here. He was racing in 14th position. He's going to lose a spot to Ty McLeod. I thought it was going to be worse than it was. I thought he was heading towards the wall.
Yeah, it was Lubomir was really close with him, Soup. He was screaming through turn 10, got it a little wide out to the left here. You're going to see this on the replay. This is what can happen on turn 10. He gets it really wide. And that's not it right there, actually.
It's okay. He is still racing, but it did cost him a couple spots. It could have been much worse. Right now, he is racing just inside the points in 14th position. Want to make sure that nobody's closing up here on anybody. Let's go ahead and take a peek at fourth real quick, because here comes Usher.
Yeah, and that's the one I was just watching, Soup. Usher really busy in the mirror right now with Francois Godin right behind him.
I think Billy Bob nailed it there as we were talking about all the battling that he did with Godin cost him any chance of getting up to the leaders right now. Let's watch him try to work on Morris. Oh, Morris a little loose coming out of 11. They go through here. What'll happen is Usher always good through the technical sections. Watch him close the gap here through 2.
Wow, big I'm sorry, Soup. Big move back here for 10th place. Yuri Mojak got by Yunus Vastamaki. Now Mojak finds himself in 10th place.
And that's
my bad. It was on replay there. Sorry, guys.
It's been a rough day for Sean.
Yeah, man, it has. I'm glad it's been a lot smoother on track. It's been rough over here behind the mic, but I don't want to discount what Mojak's doing, though. He's up 12 spots right now, still holding on to 10th place. And
let's go to fourth. Here we go, and this is making the move. That's Usher, who just got around Morris, who had to light it up going into 7A. And now Billy Bob, here comes the Frenchman of Jean-Francois Godin, the French-Canadian, now on the hunt behind Morris.
Yeah, I think he's going to make pretty easy work out of this. He's been really good on the brakes. I wouldn't be surprised to see something down here into the hairpin.
Yeah, I think Morris knows.
Oh, and he almost put it in the wall.
With 2 minutes to go, Morris just has to hang in there. One more time. We're done trying to make a last pass. Yeah.
Mojak spinning back there.
Yeah, contact with Ty McLeod. Both of them have trouble in basically they got through 7 clean. It's in 7A, the exit basically.
Couple kisses here. The first kiss, and then for good measure, one more hit.
Bit of wheel hop, and I don't think either car was terribly damaged, but the loss of time going to be severe for both of them.
Phil Reed out there. He got the sprint race win last time out at Mosport. He's looking to be the first driver to pick up 2 checker flags this season. Right now, things are looking good. 2 seconds up on Scott Newton. I've learned my lesson as I called a win last night in the Lionheart IndyCar Series that was all over. Just about to call one guy the winner as he had a whole straightaway lead. Next thing I know, he's being passed. Not going to do it this time. Phil, good luck. Stay on there. 45 seconds to go.
Soup, all kinds of craziness going on back here in 12th. Billy Bob, what did you see, man?
Well, I see 4 or 5 guys swapping the positions like every corner. There's been dive bombs all over the place, man. People locking it up sideways, side by side. Craziness here at the time running out.
McLeod in the middle of that, and boy, Casper Thrawn almost gets into the side, almost knocks the side pod of Ty McLeod's machine off. McLeod able to hang on right now to this 13th position. Oh, and Casper's right back there with him.
Those are for points. Boy, they race in like diamond formation.
Soup, I think this is going to be the white flag lap right here. It is. The white flag is out.
Phil Reed working his way through the carousel right now, coming down to the 7. We can stay on this one. Oh, it's like flying V formation now. What a great Dougie Beard camera shot. We can stay on this one. This is the best battle on the track. I'll keep an eye on the leader. I can report that Usher is way off, and that's going to cost him a bunch of positions. He's going to lose one to Kanye. So he's in the battle with Kanye, loses it to Morris and Godot. He drops back to 6th.
Tell you what, that was a fortunate recovery for him that he's even going to be able to finish at this point.
Well, talking about finishing right now, it is Phil Reed who's about to finish this sprint race. Round number 5, the Apex Online Racing Formula 2.0 champion goes to Phil Reed.
Scott Newton going to bring it home in second, Soup.
Let's go back to that nonsense we were looking back there with... how is that playing out? Did that settle down?
First of all, Quinier is going to barely hang on as Godin and Morris go across.
Looks like things are settling down for the white flag as they come across. They got that all sorted out.
Ty McLeod making a bit of a mistake. He looks like might get past here. Is that Alexis Merloso? Oh, I'm sorry. Merloso was actually a lap down, maybe?
No, that was first position. Here it is.
For position.
Merloso right ahead of McLeod. This is going to be for 16th. Wow, actually, the last car's on the lead lap. Merloso going to get the best of it.
Yeah, he was able to pull off that pass, get by McLeod, and take home a 16th place finish.
And we're going to look at the replay right now. And this is the mistake that Usher was having. He was in 3rd. He was looking to run down Quinier, or I think Newton, actually. He makes the mistake. Oh, my goodness. Might have been some contact there, too. Let's go one more time from above and take a look at this one. When I turned in on it, all I saw was Usher. Looked like he had an off on his own, but let's see. He goes wide. Oh, boy, yeah, there's some contact there, but I don't know where Kanye, his car has mass. It has to be somewhere on the track, Sean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, boy, what a finish, man.
Well, the racing is over here at Sonoma, but our broadcast is far from it. What we're going to do right now is take a short break, but we will return to run down the finishing order of the sprint race that just concluded, talk to some of the drivers before we lock up the gate here at Sonoma. Back in a few. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship, Round 5 from Sonoma. Both the feature and the sprint races are in the book. Let's run down the finishing order of the sprint race that just concluded. It was Phil Reed who started in fourth, able to hold off any battle coming up behind him. He gets the win, the first two-time winner on the season so far. Scott Newton and Hugo Quinier go second and third. Francois Godin gets fourth. Fifth was Daniel Morris. Mark Usher was making a move, got into a little contact there with Quinier, and he finishes up in sixth. Adam Tierney, Sarah Dove with another great points day, 12th in the feature, 8th in the sprint. Good job from Little Bird as she finishes a solid day. Evan Rolling Thunder Emre in 9th position, and Yunus Vastamaki rounding out the top 10. Sean?
All right, and we're going to go back to 11th. It's going to be Lubomir Moric there in 11th, and Yuri Mochak, the other rookie, just behind him. We had 3 rookies in a row here, Lubomir, Yuri, and Stephen Larkham with another good result. Finishes 13th. Knut Martinson, 14th. 15th, Casper Thron. Alexis Merloso with a 16th place run. Ty McLeod, 17th. Harrison Finch, 18th. Christian Tkach just never seemed to really get it going. Soup, 19th. 20th, going to go to Miguel Antolin.
Then we get down to the drivers that all had big trouble. Antolin finished 9 laps down. Renee Osterkamp one worse, 10 laps. Kerry Nolden, Alexander Valdo, Enric Andre. Boy, we expected big things from him as he won the feature, wasn't able to follow it up in the sprint. Stefan Herman, Silvio Hurt, 17 laps behind the leader. And, man, Josh Thompson, he had high hopes to win the sprint. Not going to happen as he finishes in the absolute opposite position, 27th and last. Okay. Let's see if we have some drivers to interview here. Sean, who are you going to talk to first?
Soup, I hadn't thought about that in any real great depth here. Let's see.
Well, I'll help you out then.
Well, no, our winner's not here, so right. I'm trying to figure out.
I'm going to bring in Lubomir Moric here, first of all, from the Czech Republic. Lubomir, congratulations on the 11th place finish. First of all, let's hear the proper pronunciation of your name so we get that one straight.
Hello, Bill. Hello, guys. So basically the most or the closest pronunciation will be like a Morris, or you can use one step forward to use a C at the end, not K, but C, so Moritz.
Moritz, we'll go with that. How about the first name?
Lubomir.
Lubomir. Okay, we got that one. Well, now let's get down to the racing. 11th here in the sprint race, and a fairly good finish in the feature. You got to be happy with your day today.
Yeah, definitely the feature race worked pretty well for me. My strategy worked out, and basically I already knew that this race won't be won by fast laps, but by a consistency. So I just let all the guys around to crash, and well, I took their position, so that was the strategy. However, it doesn't work much well on the sprint race, as basically the odds are pretty different there.
What is, I believe this is our first interview, what is your car of choice here on iRacing? Is it the Formula Renault, or do you have a favorite car?
Basically, this is my favorite car, for now at least.
Do you have how did Sonoma play out? You know what? Early on, the attrition in the feature race was just some big name drivers getting in trouble. Did you have any trouble? Did you have some close calls?
Well, a couple of those, yes. However, I tried to save it by going off tracks mostly. Basically, it was visible in the sprint race when we were side by side, T1. With another driver, and he drifted a bit towards me, so I rather go off track than have a collision there.
Yeah, we saw that one. In fact, I was a little worried. I thought you were going to slide off into the wall. We had that one on the broadcast, but you were able to bring it back. It's been fun to watch you race. Welcome to the series, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, and good evening to all. Bye.
There we have it. A good finish from Lubomir Moric. All right, Sean, now you are definitely up. It is your turn. Have you decided who do you want to talk to now? Or
well, we're going to talk to Evan Emre.
I can introduce you if you're shy. I mean, you ready? Okay, all right.
I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Evan pretty good result today, man, in the feature and the sprint race. Tell us a little bit about how much you apparently like Sonoma.
Well, I hate Sonoma, really. As I said last week, it'll be good to pick up some more points, and I did, and I think I finished 9th in both races. So, really good points. I'm not sure. It might put me top of the Tier 2 Championship. I'm not entirely sure of that. But, the first race was pretty steady, I would say. Not really many overtakes going on or defending to do. I was defending against my teammate, actually, for quite a long period. In the second stint I was defending. But I finished 9th in that race in the end, and second race it was kind of a bit chaotic at the start because we obviously had the first session that didn't work properly, and then once we got things going it was a bit messy in front, but I avoided everything and came home 9th again.
Well, Evan, it was fun to watch you have a good result today. I want to personally thank you for you and the rest of the guys for letting me practice with you guys on Thursdays. I know I can be a bit of a rolling chicane out there at times, but I got to be honest, I was having fun in the car yesterday and felt like my I know I was within the at least the 107%.
Oh well, I'm glad you were having fun. We're just trying to avoid you. Like it's.
It's the same thing I do in the booth. Is just try to avoid Sean.
I just avoid him. He's so funny. But yeah, well, I don't know where we are next week, but
we are at Road America next week.
Road America, aye. I've had my fair share of bad luck and good luck there. I think last time I flipped over a bump there last time, so
no,
I'll avoid that bump next week.
Maybe, hopefully we don't get to name that bump in your honor. So, hey, Phil, great job this week, Evan. Really, again, we thank you for coming in and putting on a great show for us this week. We'll see you next week.
All right, cheers, Bill and Sean.
All right, and cheers to Evan Imre, Soup, and you've caught up with Sarah Dove.
I do. Sarah, congratulations on a good points day. You know, I have something new that I look at now. It's the Battle of the Birds. Here's what happened. Finch finished 5th in the feature, but didn't score any points in the sprint. You finished, I think, 12th in the feature and then 8th in the sprint. It's going to be real close between those winged guys. Who's going to get the most? My gosh, you've been having some good results lately.
Yeah, I'm really happy with this week. I wasn't really expecting much, but somehow I just managed to keep it on the track and get some good points and positions.
You dodged a bullet there, I think, in the feature when Renee Osterkamp. Basically, you were just being nice. You were letting guys around you. You let Renee get the spot, and as soon as he got in front of you, you almost spun right back into you.
Yeah, it made me jump a bit because he went like the inside in the big carousel corner, so I slotted in behind him, and then all of a sudden he was just gone, and it really surprised me.
You kept the car straight. You in some good battles, some steady racing, a good points day for you. Congratulations! Always fun to watch your race.
Thank you.
Sarah Dove, a good points day for her today, Sean. All right, we are so long because we had the second start. Sean is just happy to get out of here. I'm not sure if I'm going to let him talk anymore before this. Now, look, Sean, there's one. See the script? You have the red section to do, okay?
I see where that is, buddy. Yeah,
all right, I'm not going to tell you.
Ready.
Just be ready for it, okay? We'd like to thank everybody here at Apex Online Racing for the organizing Formula Renault 2.0 Championship and for all the members who supported this broadcast. We know you have lots of choices when you fly. Thanks for flying GSRC. Thanks for companies, equipment, and software that you see on the screen right now that we use on the broadcast. The original music that you heard today, well, that's thanks to Eric Eckelm and Casey Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact each of them.
All right, now let me pull out my walker to get through this one, Soup. The AOR returns next week, Friday the 20th of October. Road America is on the schedule. GSRC will be there to bring you all the action. We hope you join us. We really hope you join us. For more information about GSRC, your best bet is www.globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on social media. Find us on Twitter at GSR Channel. And yes, find us on Facebook. Type in Global Sim Racing Channel. When you get there to Facebook, we will come right up. All one word, Global Sim Racing Channel.
And now on behalf of the man whose voice you just heard, Sean Ambrose, our director, Amjad Yaman, our camera artist, Dougie Beard, and also the man who really helped me out a lot as we brought our spotter in, put him behind the mic. I'm talking about Billy Bob Wright. Thanks a lot for helping out. I hope you guys all enjoyed the broadcast, and thanks for watching. With that said, we're off to have fun. Storm of the Castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and I'll see you on the track.